Phew. Phew. You see what Mary said?
We live though. Oh, he said, "Blam."
Are we live now for real?
Yeah, we live.
Oh, we ain't.
Yes, we is.
Okay, hold on. Let me
You
get to
said the music was playing.
was that my intro?
Yeah, that was your intro.
Oh, I got an intro. I don't. Hold on. Let me share it. Let me share it.
Mm-hmm. We live.
We live, people. We live all day, all day, all day,
I got pre-election shows all day.
all day. We got lineups all day,
All day.
all day, all day, all day, all
They're gonna have
day,
to out hustle me to beat me.
all day.
They're gonna have to out hustle me to beat me.
Can't knock the hustle.
Know what I'm saying?
810 News Media Group.
We the death row of the news, baby.
Oh,
Death row of the news.
you should, and I'm pop.
We the new death row, them motherfuckers.
One locked up, the other
Yeah, I can't handle that. I can't handle that.
We the new Death Row of Flint, Michigan.
News media, baby.
Death Row News Media right here. That's it. That's it. I like that name. Death Row News Media. Yeah. Hold on. Make sure I shared out everything with Death Row. Listen, we had an updated. I told you it was popping all day long. 810 News Media Group. We're not playing. Weaver, and Mo Weaver. So at 1 o'clock, we got the esteemed senior councilman, Eric Mays. 2 o'clock, we got Arthur Woodson. 3 o'clock, we got Sister Audrey Muhammad. 5 o'clock, we got Adrian Weaver. I'm telling you, we're doing it all day, all day, all day. Getting this lady back in the city hall. Oh, look at the man of the hour and sat down and joined me today. Hey, Councilman Mays.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Busy day.
Ain't it a busy day the day before the election? That's the most important day it is. I'm just glad that you took the time out to come and sit down and just share with the people on why they need to vote for Weaver. I want you to have this free time. You don't get a lot of time to talk freely without being interrupted.
Well, this election been going on for a few months. Really, it's been going on for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of reminds me of the election in Georgia between Herschel Walker and Warnock. Warnock is the clear choice in Georgia.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, different people think and vote different ways. In Flint, Weaver's the clear choice between Neely and Weaver. And so, you know, people will vote and do what they want. If you look back over the last 3 years, giving a few examples, people have to ask themselves, have Flint really changed over the last 3 years? The answer is no.
Nope.
As it relates to pipe replacement, we had 95% of the pipes done. He only had 2, 3, 4,000 left to do in 3 years. Did it get done? The answer is no. You had restoration. People had sidewalks tore up, holes in front of their house. Did that get done in 3 years? The answer is no. The best pipe replacement company we had was W.T. Stevenson. He set them down. They're out working now, 3, 4 weeks before the election. If you look at the ARPA fund money, $94 million, it's been sitting there, most of it, for over a year.
Yeah.
Did it get spent?
No.
Did it get allocated in the people's housing? You got to stack applications.
Mm-hmm.
Did it get done? No.
Nope.
The answer is no. Why promise me that in the next 2 years you're going to have all the houses tore down? That's not true. It's
not
a lie.
True, sir.
I can guarantee you all the houses won't be tore down in the next 2 years. So you got to be careful looking at a fella who had 3 years to do something. And then now all of a sudden, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do in the last 3 weeks.
Uh-huh.
We could have had stuff done you had certain council members. I can name them.
Let's name them.
Kate Fields and Maurice Davis and others who was on that council. And we were on a course coming out of the Mayor Weaver administration. And then when he cheated with Gleason 3 years ago, had that bogus press conference lying and won by a measly 200 votes. Maurice Davis, Kate Fields, they switched, you know. Maurice was a prime example. He switched. You can't be a wishy-washy politician. You got to stay focused and stay straight ahead. So I'm hoping tomorrow that people will stay focused. I'm telling you, I know 100% what's going on down at City Hall. I know that we broke records when we switched police chiefs and leadership. He started out with a chief named Hart. You know, Hart was the police chief because he was politic and he owed some white folks some favors. And he put Hart in there and
trying to get a share.
Yeah, didn't that get done? That was a politic move for the sheriff. And you know, I know Hart, but I know the politics and I know the crime in the city of Flint. Then all of a sudden, he went and got his childhood friend. He say, I guess they went to elementary school or something together. He should have left Chief Green alone right out there in Mount Morris Township in Beecher. And he brought him in. And crime under Hart and Chief Green skyrocketed. Crime skyrocketed. And now
that's why crime is down. That's why crime is
down. In the middle of an election, if you break all mostly records, homicides or whatever, the next year you shouldn't go up higher and break another record. It should be a little lower. It never should have been that high. So when you look at the comparison of the two, and I worked with both of them, you got people lying, telling half truth, even about themselves.
Yep.
You know you ain't had no bachelor's degree from Saginaw
Valley.
Ain't no staffer did that. Anytime somebody say something about me, whether it's on social media and the news, I know immediately that I have to try to correct it.
Right.
I keep telling them I wasn't going the wrong way on 475 with 4 flats. I represented myself. It wasn't but 3. Yeah. You got to correct it. Right. So, you know, I'm being sarcastic, but
I understand
serious.
What you're saying.
Yeah, people know when somebody is saying something wrong about themselves. Talking about a staffer put that on there about his degree for 8-9 years. He had me believing that I got a bachelor's from Michigan State. It took time to earn it. I had to learn stuff. I know if somebody says I got a master's or a PhD, I'm going to correct that. But it ain't just been lying and half-truths about the degree. It's been lying and half-truths about the budget. Yep. We're facing a $15 million projected budget deficit. When he took over,
well, he just said on 1420 Saturday on WFLT that he passed 3 balanced budgets the last 2 years.
This budget
with that cross on his head.
This budget is a $15 million projected budget deficit. Quincy Murphy, Herkin Rhoda, Priestley, Pfeiffer, they didn't show up for the budget meeting right before the passage of the budget that Finance Chair Tanya Burns called. She called it, her and I. This is the first budget in over 20, 30 years that didn't have amendments, didn't fix stuff. The opera funds.
And that's what he said, passed with no amendments.
The opera funds could have been in the amendments.
Right.
That was because Quincy Murphy and Liddell Lewis, they were starstruck. They never been in a mayor's office before, never been on council. I done worked under 3 mayors and 3 different council people and persons, and I'm not starstruck. And so they was getting calls down there. You can look at a couple of them doing commercials now. They don't get it. So this election in Flint for mayor reminds me of the election in Georgia between Senator Warnock and Herschel Walker. The choice is clear. Georgians should be voting Warnock. Herschel Walker is embarrassing to me. some of the things he say, the way he talk. Trump is endorsing him, and that's what we got going on here.
Right.
You got certain ignorant council folks talking about Neely. The choice is clear. Weaver versus Neely, half truths and lies. I'm all for statutes. You know, the McCree. I know they're McCree era. His son, Melvin McCree, used to be on the council, president of the council. Floyd McCree and Woody Etherly then was known for their policy, not for keys to the city and statute. Floyd McCree was involved in the open housing ordinance that allowed blacks to live where they wanted to live. Joe Davis, who he named the fire station after the first, one of the first black firefighters. It's all right to name the fire station after Joe Davis, but when two white firefighters allow two black children to be in the house and die, don't cover it up. You're doing a disgrace to Joe Davis and the fire station and to the chief who said they should be terminated. You know, I give accolades to the two black firefighters who went in there and found them after the white firefighters deboggled it. So don't just give out a key to the city or name a fire station after Joe Davis, and your policies has been missing in action. 3 years ago, we was on the right track and in a better place. So the voters have to ask themselves, I don't care if you like him, I don't care if you see flaws with me or with Weaver, you voting on folks' record. Weaver's record was that we came in with a $12 million deficit. We had emergency managers. Right. We had to get the emergency managers out, turn Flint back over into a democracy, because when he was on the council articulating that we should pump water and drink it out of the Flint River, that was one of his claims to fame. Yep. He ain't introduced no more ordinances than any council person in the history of the city of Flint. That's a lie. I was on the council with him for a short period of time. I had been in council meetings since Ed Taylor, Matt Taylor, Melvin McCree, and I didn't seen it. He was weak on the council. He was weak when he went to Lansing as a state representative, and he's been weak the last 3 years as mayor. We got the emergency manager out. She recruited a financial genius, I'm gonna call him, Huey Newsom. I was the finance chair, but forget, I looked at the era when we had to fix the deficit, get emergency managers out. The strategy was used to declare a water emergency. Do you know how unique that was? If you read the state law, it's an emergency statute in state law. It say if there's a tornado and you got damage, if there's a hurricane and you got damage, or water contamination, those were the 3 areas you could declare an emergency. When we found that, and Mayor Weaver declared the emergency, it opened up a floodgate. Right. We had resources coming in from federal government, state government, over 700 million in resources. Now it didn't come straight to the city government. I just wanted you to clear that up, because you've been watching it. You watched the money. Yeah, I was finance chair. Yep. Some of it went to the United Way, the YWCA, Hurley Hospital, the Community Foundation, and it's different from this ARPA money. This ARPA money in 94 million that came in under Neely's administration came straight to our banking account, straight to the city of Flint, controlled by us. Yeah. So when you compare the two administrations and you compare the policy and strategies and money, I mean, Woodrow Stanley, God bless his soul, one of my mentors, is dead. There's still folks believe Woodrow Stanley stole millions of dollars because some fool said that. It wasn't true about Woodrow Stanley. It ain't been true about Dr. Karen Weaver, Mayor Weaver. It ain't true about me. I ain't stole no money.
Yeah,
People in government, everybody ain't what people say.
Right.
But I can tell you this.
But you know, that's the easiest thing to say about the black person. They stole some money.
Well, it's true that we sometimes are our worst enemies. Here we sit in a majority black city. You got the first ward, the second ward, the third ward, the fifth ward, majority black.
Right.
And you're going to have probably in just them 4 wards I named, you're going to probably have 4 times 4, 16,000 people stay home. The election, Neely first won 200 vote margin. The primary I was just in, he had 4,900. She had 4,000. I had 1,100. Some people believe you add me and her votes together, she win.
Right.
I don't look at it like that.
Right.
I look at it as that was an August primary. Now you're going to have a November general election, and you're going to have more people vote. You're going to have 2,000, 3,000 more people vote, but you're going to still have them 4,000 people who ain't going to vote in them 4 or 5 predominantly black wards. The key to this is to wake up 1,000 of those 15, 16,000 people. The last time we seen over 6,000 black folks vote in the first ward was when President Obama ran. Normally we have about 1,800, 2,200 voters in the first ward, but when President Obama ran, we had lines of people, and it was over 6,000 people. So 4,000 people has traditionally been registered and don't vote. I'm trying to wake up in those predominantly black wards, at least 500 of those people. And Weaver should easily win. But I'm kind of nervous about it. I've been around elections in the city of Flint for over 30 years. I know people can win. I know people can lose. We're at the verge of victory. We're at the verge of allocating the ARPA funds if Weaver wins. We're at the verge of fixing the police department if Weaver wins. We're at the verge of honesty and truth if Weaver wins. We're at the verge of me being able to pick up the phone and call a department because somebody is calling me, Councilman Mays. So forth and so forth is happening over Councilman Mays. I'm like, okay, hold on, let me make a call. But you don't want to make a call to liars and cheaters and deceitful folks. You don't want to make a call to a department that refuses to come to a committee meeting. I've never seen in 30 years where a finance director, in this case, Whittigan, his finance director, refuses to come to a finance committee meeting.
And you can't do that without
you get fired if it was me.
Right.
But they stopped coming when we uncovered the scandal dealing with buying $500,000 worth of cars. They said they had hand delivered the bids to all of the dealerships in Genesee County, and that the only one that answered was the one where Mr. Foster worked, and his wife was a manipulator in the finance department in order to, in my opinion, for Neely to get a kickback. When you look at, yeah, I said it, kickback, money under the table.
All the stuff they accuse you of. Okay.
I don't know who accused me of it. I'm poor. I'm broken. My grandmama used to say as a 6-shooter.
Damn, I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah, I mean, all the bullets out the 6-shooter. You ain't got no more bullets. So I ain't walking around here with money. I'm driving my own car.
Yes,
it's tough for me to pay my insurance for the last 3 years. He been driving the city car. It's illegal, but he been driving it. It ain't budgeted, but he been driving it. He been driving a city car with city insurance, with city gas. Can you imagine if you fill up your tank for 3 years for $60 to fill up? I mean, you're making 5,000 every 2 weeks. councilman, I made 500 every 2 weeks. So it's a long list of things that should tell people, don't vote for somebody who's self-centered, selfish, not doing policy, not dispersing money and resources into the community, not hiring the best department heads, um, telling lies and half truth, being selfish. I can guarantee you 100%. You can hand somebody a key to the city, or you can put up a sign that names, I think it was Spencer Street,
Yes,
in honor of Clarissa Shields. But you didn't do that by yourself.
right.
That naming of Clarissa Shields took a action of city council. It took a vote of city council. I was president and I wasn't invited to none of them ceremonies. And I knew that the action of city council not only had named the street in honor of Clarissa Shields, but it had also named Dayton Street in honor of Ira Dorsey and them first. And I'm not getting caught up in who was first, who was second,
Right.
who's a champion, who's got an Emmy. You know, we all good.
Right.
And so that's why when you hear that cliche, we're one Flint. No, quit lying. You trying to be Flint. You don't want to give Weaver her credit for what she done before you illegally got there doing a press conference with Gleason. You don't want to give me credit. You don't want to give the council credit. You've kept Flint divided. You've called the city council insurrectionists. You've criticized the length of our meetings, but yet and still you won't demand that your department heads is there. When the chief of the fire department says fire these two, they broke policy. They've allowed people to lose life. Then you interfere, throw the rock, hide your hand. Ain't but one person can override the chief. It was you. You didn't want this to come out during the election that two white firefighters, in my opinion, had let two blacks die. One of them was a union official.
Yeah.
You had union endorsements. You didn't want to mess that up. Greta Whitman kind of distanced herself from you once you had her on CNN and Fox saying the headlines was that the governor endorses a mayor who lied about his degree. That wasn't no headlines that Councilman Mays put out or we did on 810 News Media. That was Fox and CNN. Now it looks like Miss Davis, the police chase on Pearson Road, you brag that, oh, I'm the mayor. I've stopped police chasers for chasing people for misdemeanors. Well, here you got a misdemeanor police chase, allegedly. The guy who got hit and was in the hospital, he got hit. He seen it coming. Oh, somebody hit me because the police was chasing him. This man ain't lying on social media.
Did you see her interview with me this morning?
Yeah, I've seen it. I know Miss Davis. I've been supporting her. The facts
She said that
don't add up in their denial of that police chase. I've talked to a couple witnesses who said it was a police chase. But you know, Mr. Neely bragged, oh, I came in and stopped police chases in the city of Flint. I've stopped them. Unless it's a serious crime, a murder, or some serious high-level crime, there's no more chases. Well, here you then had a death on Pearson Road in a police chase dealing with a misdemeanor as it relates to breaking up people hanging out in front of a club where the officer allegedly spit on somebody's car. Now, these are white officers chasing black folks, resulting in death. And so the Lord moved in a certain way.
Right.
And so here we are.
I want to ask you real quick. Stop it right there.
The day before the election, and they still trying to fool and cover up. Go ahead, because it's election time.
You watch the meetings more than I do. You dissect them.
I participate in them. I'm part of the meetings.
Yeah, you are part of the meeting.
I'm in a leadership position in the city of Flint.
Back in April when y'all had the budget hearings, I remember the chief sat down at the table and said, "We don't do police chases." Was it the chief or was it the mayor? Somebody said it, and I couldn't
the
find it
mayor
on the
and
tape.
the chief has said before council and no police chases.
Okay.
The mayor dictated the policy to the chief of no police chases. I don't know if the police can appreciate that, but that was something that the mayor implemented. No police chases for misdemeanors, little petty crimes and tickets and stuff. Their philosophy was, well, we see what the car is. We got the license plate. We'll catch up with them later.
Right.
And so that was the policy that he bragged on. The police chief stated the policy. Police live by the policy, but that policy came from Mr. Neely. That's why it's embarrassing now if you got people who broke the policy and somebody has been killed. He don't want that to come out. And same way with the thing over at the fire department.
Right.
If
that
you
looks
got
bad on him.
Because he's selfish.
He's the smartest man in the room.
He's more self-centered about himself looking good. He'll cover up and tell a lie before he just come out and say that somebody messed up.
Yep.
Let me just make it through the election. It'll be political suicide if in the city of Flint we have these black and white issues. It'll be political suicide if the union get mad at me because that was the white union guy who lied allegedly and didn't go in and look in the bedroom and see them children there. And so that's a self-centered politician. He's more concerned about himself. Let me just get this money and win this election. And then I got 4 years. We can try to get all of these mistakes and straighten out stuff that I didn't straighten out.
Selfish as he is, 2 more babies died out there in the Regencies Saturday night, and he on TV talking about he got threats made on social media, and then they just did a little blurb about the children.
Yeah, I don't know what the threats was on social media, but that's those sympathy votes,
Yeah.
I'm not voting for him. I'm not voting for him. But my biggest fear is that do the majority of people know? See, the majority of people don't look back at that press conference he had with Gleason and that black lady from the high rise when he won by a measly 200 votes. They actually thought that Weaver and them was passing out illegal absentee ballots. It worked. The majority of the people don't know that we paying $9 million extra for a garbage contract with probably kickbacks to him under the table. The majority of people don't know that he's driving illegally a city car using city gas. The majority of people don't know or don't care whether he should have the finance director coming to a finance committee meeting every other week.
Because Paul cut it out. That meeting didn't show.
The majority of the people don't know that he has covered up a bid rigging where we was fixing to purchase $500,000 worth of vehicles from somebody's husband who worked with him, and it was probably about 25,000 or 50,000 in kickbacks or under the table money. The majority of the people don't
brought
know
it up. He wanted to talk
and
about
they dropped it like a hot potato when we brought
he
it
said,
up.
"Let's wait till after the election."
Ran from that. They stopped coming to meetings. They didn't want no more questions. The majority of the people don't know that when you name a street and put an honorary street sign up, it took more than action of a mayor. The majority of the people don't know that we're facing a $15 million projected budget deficit. And if we don't fix it in a hurry in the next 2-3 months, we could be back under emergency management. The majority of the people don't
Wait a minute,
know.
wait a minute. Back up. What did you just say?
If we don't fix that projected $15 million budget deficit, we could possibly go back in emergency management. When the emergency managers came in, you know, we had a $12 million deficit. We're right now facing $3 million more. This is a $15 million projected deficit.
So do you think
When
that's
we
why
were-
they had that they came out with that blurb in the charter and they said that whoever wins the mayor's election tomorrow, they can't take office until the governor's
No, I
votes
think
are
that's just
certified.
some stupidity that the Charter Revision Commission
Yeah,
did
yeah.
when they put the mayor's race on there with the governor and the congressman and all that.
Uh-huh.
We used to have the mayor of the city of Flint race in the off-season elections where we could concentrate on mayor and city council. If you notice this election, this is the first election under the charter where you got the mayor's race on with the governor, the congressman, and you got so much literature coming.
Right.
Yeah, the mayor's race is kind of lost in the
Yep,
shuffle
you're right.
of all this literature between
Right.
Kildee and Young and Gretchen Whitmer.
Then all
Yeah.
the school board, you
Yeah.
can slam it
They done
everything.
put everything, and so that dilutes our concentration on one of the most important races for us locally, the mayor of the city of Clinton.
Right.
I hope we can change that back where we isolate our mayor's race in the off season by itself. We got a chance to change that back. But a lot of people don't know this stuff.
Right.
And so I'm not mad at them. They don't know. They just look at the status quo. They think everything is going all right. He's promising them what he will do, vote for me, and I will do this.
And he
Yeah.
won't do nothing.
They're not looking at what we already had did.
Right.
We had got the emergency manager out. We had built up a $24 million fund balance of surplus because we know we had some legacy costs. Now, in plain language, that's pension fund costs. People who retired from the city, we had scrapped and saved up $24 million because we had payments to make sure people keep getting their pension fund. He came on with a lie and say, I found 24 million laying there. Now you didn't find that. We worked hard under the Weaver administration.
She didn't steal that right there.
Well, you know.
She left for me. This for me.
What happened in this budget, in this legislative budget out of Lansing, once they shortchanged the residents, and people don't know they shortchanged because the checks ain't hit yet for the water settlement lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
It's
People
a
really
cap.
think they about to get paid.
Well, it's a cap on grown folks who don't have
$1,000.
medical documentation of $1,000. After attorney fees, they'll get $600, $700, $800. But some people don't know that. Now, it'll be some children and their parents and those children, if they were 6 and under at the time, they'll get checks of 20,000, 40,000, 100,000. It'll be some stuff there. But the point I'm trying to make is the state of Michigan owed us.
Right.
It was 2 or 3 cities in the state of Michigan that had been messed up and their pension funds was in jeopardy. So in this budget year, one thing Gretchen Whitmer and the Republicans and the Democrats in Lansing did do right was they looked at them 2 or 3 cities and they gave us an influx of $200 million in order to kind of help us fix the pension fund. That's going to help us correct that projected $15 million deficit.
But he portraying like he ran up there and got the money just for Flint.
People been talking about the pension fund when he was in Lansing.
I know that.
We tried to get stuff done when he was the state rep.
Yeah.
He did nothing as a state rep except for brag about 2 things. These are the 2 things that stick out. And anybody can answer. One, he put a picture of a black man up
Yeah,
in the hallway.
I remember that.
And two,
The
he
Capitol.
introduced a bill to stop state police chases. Those are the two things. And the state police chase bill came when them people got killed on Pearson Road when the state police was
And
chasing.
down there on Selby.
That's why he's so embarrassed now to say that I came to Flint, stopped Flint police chases, but somebody done got killed in a police chase. So a lot of people don't know these nuances. And so what he's doing, he's trying to make it across the finish line.
Yeah.
The election is tomorrow. I'm one day away. I done fooled people. I done told half truth and lies. I'm almost there. I done mailed out so much literature. See, money helps people win elections. In the council races, Quincy Murphy, Liddell Lewis, Hurricane Rhoda, them three might not have won, but somebody, it was Neely. Somebody, it was Neely. Somebody mailed out illegal literature 2-3 weeks before their council elections, and you ask them, ask Hurricane Road, did you mail that literature out? Did y'all put that in your campaign finance statement as a in-kind contribution or any type of knowledge that that was being mailed out when you beat Monica Galloway by a measly 75 votes? Did you mail that out? I already know the answer. She said, no, I don't know who did it. Ask Quincy Murphy. Did you mail that literature out? The BAC doing 2-3 weeks before the election. Do you know where it came from? The answer was no. It was Neely. See, we checked it out. And that literature came from the same print company in Detroit where Neely's literature comes from.
Don't say.
So, no, I do say. And Liddell Lewis now benefited from that literature. So you got a council who had illegal literature mailed out on their behalf, and they won by a handful of votes. You had a mayor who held the illegal press conference with Gleason, a crooked chief election officer in his office, got prosecuted. He can't run for office no more. He got prosecuted for a problem with a marriage license, but the interference with the City of Flint election was using his office was a way bigger crime. But he's done. He had to resign. We should be asking for Neely's resignation. We should be saying that he shouldn't be able to manipulate and run in a public office. I mean, set him out
the pasture. Called a special meeting? Never mind.
I'm glad you bit your tongue. Because you only got 3 council people right now in the fight. I'm going to do it the politically correct way. You got Jerry Winfrey Carter, you got Tanya Burns, and you got myself. It took a minute to wake Councilwoman Burns up. I mean, this is a great manipulator. He tricked you, he tricked her, he tricked Mr. Woodson. These are just the high-profile people he tricked. Right. See, you were a social media person. I didn't know Wyntis Hall from Adam. I'm just not meeting you now. I didn't know who Wyntis Hall was, but I knew the name. Right. And I knew that y'all were being fooled and tricked. Tanya Burns, I did know Tanya Burns because I had knew her through my sisters now, right. Sue and Kim, them. The daughters of Martha Mays. Martha Mays had married my father, Pastor Mays. Woodson, I knew of Woodson when he came on the scene as like an activist. I used to do stuff like that before I was a councilman. I was in council meetings, I would pick issues. So he had captured the attention of some high profile folks. And it's people who listen to you on social media. They believe you. And so, I'm controversial. I'm an easy target. People can say and do what they want to about me. But we used to say in the plant when I was an elected union official appointee in the UAW, you can call and say what you want to about me. just don't call me late for dinner or lunch. You know, that's what them white
I heard
folks
about that. He
used
used
to
to say
always-
that.
Yeah, call me what you want, but just don't call me late for dinner
Right.
or lunch. But one thing people can't call me is a half-truth, a deceitful, and a liar. We had people in high school and junior high like me. They're just habitual liars. They tell half-truths and lies. But what tripped me out was the other quality you add in when you try to destroy other people's character and their reputation when it don't go your way. He tried that with me when Murdoch jumped on me in Roots. Now I'm understanding he tried to discredit Murdoch, and Murdoch is now pissed off at him. You shouldn't try to discredit folks. They mailed out a piece of literature in the last few days. I just seen it day before yesterday, trying to put on a piece of literature. Mel Weaver's travel schedule. At the Marriott. It is, man, look, and them might wasn't even the right date.
Right, but don't
but they
know
put
that.
it.
Right.
But people don't know that.
People don't know
but
that.
what they did, you know, Weaver was meeting with Elijah Cummings before he died.
Yes.
If you remember the big hearing, it was like the January 6th hearing, but it was the Flint Water crisis. Elijah Cummings was our mentor. He was working with us. He was a big shot, but now he passed. She was meeting with Obama and them. Obama and them came here to Northwestern. So why would a little mayor guy like this give his authority to mail that out? You know, they think mailing is the win all to elections. You see a lot of mayor. Why would he allow that to go out? And then you know how politics is. They'll put Mr. Gilchrist's picture in black and white. They don't put the picture when you smile, and they'll put a like you know.
Picture,
Yeah, so people should know, see through that. Not only did Mayor Weaver go to Washington, we went to Lansing. We went a variety of places.
Y'all went to Lansing when he was up there, and he didn't want to move.
Look, they ain't put my picture on there. You know, give me some credit for something. I was in the middle of the fight as it relates to the water crisis. But this is the politics of it.
Right.
Illegal mailings. Press conferences with half-truth.
Right. Controlling
the relationship with ABC 12, because he used to work there, for me has been appalling. But we have to also talk about the track record. I've worked with Weaver. I worked with Neely. I worked with both of them. We got more concrete stuff done under Weaver. We had resources come in. We fixed deficits. We had policy. We did get a real drop in the crime rate because Tim Johnson, Two Gun, we called him Two Gun. Don Williams, a nickname and that. But he was even, as a chief, he was even in shootouts with people with guns. He'd go out and cool people and capture people who was convicted murder. I said, I'm gonna stay a councilman because I don't want to be a police. I mean, these people got real guns. So
but he had respect out there in the street. My brother Tony Wiggins, he said the difference now between the little people downtown and Timmy Two Guns and that Cat Squad, they had respect out there.
Maybe them shouldn't have never disbanded the Cat Squad.
Oh, you saying he disbanded? Well, he said he didn't. He just changed the name.
You know,
to Little Blue.
Keep watching his nose to see if it grows. He'll
so long,
stretch all the way down Saginaw Street. But the problem we got is election day. This is Monday. It's election day.
Yep.
It takes time for people to separate fact from fiction. How long did it take you?
I told you about the 17th line when
No, but about how many weeks or months?
It took me 1920, about 2 years.
About 2 years. See, it takes time. So that's where my heart goes out to the residents. Because the residents don't keep up with this politics like you and I. The residents ain't in these meetings.
That's
They
why I'm
vote
here.
us in.
That's why I'm here
You back
all
on social
day,
media.
all day today. We doing back to back to back on why people need to get out and vote for we.
Well, you
All
know,
day.
it's 7, 8, 9,000 people have already voted.
I know.
But I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna make a political prediction. It's gonna be another 5, 6,000 or more go to the polls.
Uh-huh.
That's who I'm talking to today.
Yes.
That's who I want people to talk to between now and tomorrow. If I'm right, and I could be wrong, but if I'm right,
Right so far.
these elections between Weaver and Neely has been within 100 or 200 votes in one case, 200 votes.
Right.
That means if 100 people who voted for Neely have woken up and now see through him, and that 100 people leave him, and 101 switch to Weaver, she would win by one vote. See, that 200 really is 100 leaving and switching.
Right.
Now let's go a step further. Let's go a step further. In the race that just hit, in the primary, he had 4,900. She had 4,000.
Yep.
That 900 is 450 people. But wait a minute. You got the Eric Mays factor in there.
Yeah.
I had 1,100 people who listened to me.
Yeah.
All 1,100 ain't gonna do what I do.
Right.
I'm supporting Weaver. I'm asking people, will you believe me? Will you trust me? Between the two, we got work to do. I'm gonna be down there 4 more years. My term is for, will you vote? So out of that 1,100, that voted for me, let's say 7, 8, 900 vote Weaver. Let's say you got another extra 1,000 or 2 gonna go to the polls. I believe that this election is this close between the two. I believe what we do today and tomorrow on them polls. Now, I want people to know this. It ain't easy to cover polls.
No, it's
You
not.
have 50, 60 precincts.
Yeah.
They open from 7 in the morning to 8 at night. Now, I'm going to have to be honest. When them polls open at 7, I sometimes just be brushing my teeth. I don't even been
I mean,
left
but the people
home
there at
yet.
7, they already know who they
I
vote
don't
for.
even been left home yet,
Right.
but this is in my election. Now here it is, my election. Why don't I just get up at 6 and be out there at 7? It'd be dark sometime, it'd be cold, but the point I'm trying to make is when you're a candidate, you know how hard it is to get people to stay on the poll handing out literature for you from 7 in the morning to 8.
Yes.
I mean, we drive around. I don't be having but 2, 3 people, so I can go to McDonald's, get them some hamburgers or something. My little crew, they have, but you know, some people make sandwiches, get juices. But what I'm asking, I wouldn't care if a person only had an hour or 2. You know, hang out at the polls.
Hang out at the polls.
If you with the
Inbox me.
Weaver folks, hang out at the polls. Do a contribution. You vote. And then hang out at the polls in your area because you're going to see some people you know.
Isn't that smart?
And that's what the contest is. You got people over here handing out literature for Neely. And you got people over here handing out literature for Weaver.
Right.
Every now and then, you'll see 2 or 3 people who you know better than the people they know. And your presence at the poll can help people change their mind. So I want to try to help get us some help on the polls tomorrow.
Okay.
Now remember, money get help on the polls.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna reach a conclusion that Neely and them had more money than we did, and so they can pay people.
Right.
But sometimes when you pay people, you don't get what you want.
There you
I've
go.
seen people pay people at
And
the
they sitting
polls,
there
and
looking pretty.
they sitting there half doing the work. But not only is they half doing the work, but they have told me they just paying me. I voted for the other person.
I've heard that
So
too.
yeah, I
Are
want.
you? Do you guys are the elected, not the elected, but your the city hall employees? Will they be allowed to do as they did in the primaries, like Suzanne Wilcox, and come and pass out literature at the polls tomorrow as well?
Or they would have to take a vacation day,
Oh,
or
okay.
they would
Okay.
have to take a leave of absence.
Okay.
If they're on the city payroll,
Uh-huh.
you can't, be
Oh,
campaigning.
okay.
That's why what Gleason did was a crime.
Okay.
Gleason was at work, the
Mhm.
chief election officer. He allowed Neely to use his office with him there at work to discredit Weaver and win by 200 votes. They had that black lady sitting in between them, and Gleason participated and said to the people of Genesee County, the city of Flint, that Weaver was doing illegal absentee ballot activity using his office. That was a high crime. Neely knew it. And so Gleason and Neely conspired to commit that crime. And they won a 3-year term
Sure
by
did.
a measly
Sure
200 votes.
Yeah.
That's 100
But
vote
my,
turnout. You
when them
remember
tell,
that press
I
conference?
remember the press conference. I believe that lady. And so I just believed it to the hilltops.
But look, think about it, Wyntis. I didn't believe it. You know why? Because in order to pass out an illegal absentee ballot, you must have a printer. You know how you have a person who make you a false ID or a false passport. You would have had to have a printer print you some illegal absentee ballots. But when you look at them, they got them red numbers on them. The minute you turn one of those in, all kind of signals gonna go up.
Right.
You gonna have the biggest election investigation you ever seen. So that's why I thought it was easy to see. Because me, I'm a seasoned veteran in politics. I like to say, I'm almost dead. I'm 64, but I'm a seasoned veteran, and I knew right away when that illegal press conference was held. You and some others believed it. Oh, they done caught Weaver, them passing out illegal absentees. You can't do that. Gleason and Neely was stupid to try that, but it worked.
It worked
because people believed him. And that's what's happening now. It's a lot of half truths and lies and deception coming, and then money being put in, literature being mailed out left and right. So we the underdog. I looked at the Michigan State game. No, that was the Detroit Lions yesterday.
Oh yeah, they played
They were supposed to not beat Green Bay. They was the underdog. But Detroit won. I think the score was 15-6.
I ain't watched the game. I just
was it 15-9? Oh, now Mickey done woke
yeah, woke up for that. Right.
Detroit, but that's what we in. We going into this race, in my opinion. It's the underdog.
No,
there's nothing wrong with being the underdog. I'm not gonna compare this Weaver race to the Detroit Lions. I'm comparing it to, it reminds me of Warnock and Herschel Walker. Neely reminds me of Herschel Walker, and Weaver reminds me of Senator Warnock. That's the Warnock. And I'm saying, when you look at that race in Georgia between Warnock and Herschel Walker, some of us look at it and say, don't embarrass us like that. Herschel Walker shouldn't be in a dead heat with Warnock. But the polls say that he is, whether the polls right or wrong. Now you look at Flint and you say, how can Neely and Weaver 2 times be in a dead heat? And this is the 3rd time.
Right.
By the 3rd time, it should be a charm. I'm praying and hoping that people have sorted this out. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to be nervous because it affects what I have to do and how I serve people at city council.
Right.
And so I'm going to be watching I'm gonna do what I can throughout the day. I've done what I could do.
And tell the people they can vote today if they want to.
Oh, I had a resident from the first ward call me.
Really?
I know her very well.
Okay.
And she said, Councilman Mays, how late can I vote today?
Okay.
I say,
Okay, good.
you can vote up to 4 or 5 o'clock today at City Hall, absentee. And so she was down there just a few minutes ago.
Good.
Now, I had an absentee ballot mailed to me. I can't find it nowhere. Do you think I'm gonna correct that and get my vote in today or tomorrow?
You gonna go down there?
You think I'm gonna vote today or tomorrow?
I think you gonna vote today.
I don't know. I'm gonna see, but I can assure you, when you look at my voting record since I've been on council, I don't think I missed one. And I remember one of them was like, man, I had been out on the polls helping doing, and it was like 3-4 minutes left.
Oh, you forgot.
And I was at Hasselbreak, and I shot around to my polling place with this gundry on Dubai.
And voted.
And I went in like right up under the wire with 1 minute left. So now I know I'm gonna look in my car again because I got some boxes.
You gotta spend too much time. We need you out there. We can go down there and vote.
I'm gonna see if I can find it, but if I don't, my point is anybody who misplaced the absentee, anybody who can't find it, spoiled it, you can go and fill out an affidavit swearing an oath that you ain't voting twice. That's the purpose of the affidavit. And they'll issue you another ballot. So if I don't find it at my house or in my car, then I'll go sign an affidavit. They'll issue me another ballot, and I'll be voting Weaver for mayor. That's the main one I'm voting on.
That's the main one everybody should vote on. Local politics affect us.
In the city of Flint. Now, I'll be voting judges. I'll be voting in the Congress and the school board, but I'm focused right now on the mayor of the city of Flint. And I know 100% that Weaver will do us a better job.
Me too.
Than what I've experienced.
Me too.
If you vote on their records.
Vote on their records.
What has already been done and what not has been done.
Let her finish what she started.
Let us.
Let us.
Can't no one person
so
do it.
Then let the co-equal.
She'll tell you that the first 2 letters in Weaver is we. When you hear a politician me with anybody talking about what I is hard in government to do something yourself. Whether you deal with department heads, council, city administrators, you gotta have a good team.
Right.
And a council person should know better than most that when residents call you, you better know and have somebody you can call.
Right.
And so I'm saying, let us go finish what the good work
we're gonna
that
get
we
Susan and Pearson Road fixed.
Susan and Pearson?
Yeah, where they got them cones been out there. He left them cones over there in the first one.
Oh, you talking about on Pearson?
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I ask about them cones, you know what they say? Oh. We waiting for a park to come in. That's a long order. I would have put that, you know how you can go to FedEx and pay that extra money.
Yeah.
And get it overnight.
They wait for the park.
The money that he done spent driving them illegal cars and gas money. You could have paid for the rush, the extra. But you know, people don't know. And so that is a famous cone sitting there on Pearson Road.
Yes, it is.
And I've checked on it because it's in my area. And 2 to 3 times they said we waiting on the park to come in. But it's been there way too long. Stuff like that.
Right.
Stuff that done been too long. You at the helm. Now, can you imagine me raising hell if I'm at the helm trying to get that done? See, if you read the charter, a mayor can order, a council person can ask, represent, and request. That's why we know who ordered and overrode the chief, not the
Listen
fire,
to him.
not to fire them two white
Listen to
firefighters
him.
because it could be a suicide to my
Listen to him.
election.
Listen
And
to
so
him.
believe me, when you know the charter, you know who can ask, who can request,
That's right.
and who can order. There's only one elected official who can order. And so I hope they order him out
I hope
tomorrow.
they do too.
And I hope that they order Weave in.
Thank
I pray and hope people get out and vote. We've done all we can do.
Yeah.
It's over. We turn it over to the voters, those who have learned and listened. Talk to 5 or 10 more.
Right.
This election so far has been razor thin close.
Yep.
And so now
I think it's gonna be a blowout. We were gonna blow
You
them out.
do?
Yeah, everybody think it's gonna be close. I think she's gonna blow them out the water.
Well, good for you. What you think, Nick? Is it
Uh,
close or a blowout?
If the people get out and vote, I believe it'll be a blowout.
Well, remember Hillary Clinton and Trump?
Yeah.
I'd have bet you money Hillary Clinton was going to beat Trump.
Yeah.
I'd have lost a ton.
Well, they sit
Think
right
about it.
there.
Herschel Walker and Warnock.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got Weaver and
And
Neely.
Neely.
I'll be voting Weaver.
Thank you.
I guarantee you.
Well, you know what? I wanted him to talk without any interruptions. A lot of people listen to Councilman Mays. That's why I let him do most of the talking. And we'll be right back in 5 more minutes with another guest, Arthur Woodson. See you in a second. Thank you, Councilman Mays.
I hope God bless us all. Thank you.
And the mute is off.
We live?
You lied. I never ended it.
Oh Lord.
And the mute is
We live?
off. The phone was still on.
So this the same live.
Yes, ma'am.
Y'all see me going. Y'all see I'm doing my best. This all day. She got me working day and night. She got me working from sun up to midnight. Next guest, we rolling today. Arthur Woodson.
What's happening?
You see the title I put up there for our show? Water, Lies, and Popcorn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Art, you know what? I don't think we did a podcast together ever.
Never.
Ever.
So this gonna be good.
To say the least.
Great.
You all may want to share this with a few people because this is going to be real. This might be history in the making right here. Because now I got somebody that know what the hell that I'm talking about. Finally.
Definitely.
Ain't got to ask for likes, clicks, shares, none of that. I got somebody that absolutely know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me. Are you sending it to people? Mr. Woodson.
Well, I'll put it on my page.
You put it on your page.
Yeah.
You got enough people on your page.
Right.
Will come and the show. Hold on.
Where the lights, man? I was looking for the lights today.
Oh, we only got that one.
Oh, right.
We're tired. We've been working. I've been live up there at the water place this morning since Hey Denise
Where?
Morgan.
Up at
Bethel. Yeah.
I went up there today and I picked up some water to take to some seniors today.
Yeah, I know he was telling me.
Yeah, my back, man.
And you're tired because your eyes is getting that funny color brown.
Yeah, I ain't
sleep.
I ain't been able to hey, after tomorrow would be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just that I don't mind staying up late.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sleep anyway.
No, you don't.
But it's important for us to get Nickelback Millie out of the office.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I sacrifice
a few hours of
a
sleep,
few hours,
days,
a few days of sleep.
We didn't sacrifice a few years.
Right.
Cause I knew him. I helped him when he ran for 6th Ward Councilman, but I stepped out of the political scene.
Mm-hmm.
I got back in watching you on Facebook, okay? And then Maurice Davis Blues and News.
Right.
And then you started going for Neely, and then I'm listening to you, and then we're going into this. I'm blaming it back on you. You're going to give me the donkey of the award yesterday. I'm blaming it on him.
Okay.
It's his damn fault.
And it's Harletta and Tanya's fault for reeling me in.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. So you blaming them, and I'm blaming you.
All of us, got, my homeboy KK too. You know what I'm saying? All of us have somebody that we listen to. And, me, myself, I feel like I lied to people.
That's how
you know what I'm saying? Because of what he told me.
Yep.
And my word means everything to me.
There you go, Art.
And a lot of people don't understand that. His minions can say whatever the hell they want to.
I don't care.
But it's not personal.
Yeah.
This is political.
No, this personal.
It's personal now.
Okay.
No, it wasn't personal at first. It was political at first.
Uh-huh.
But now it's political and personal because of all the things that he has done. Mm-hmm. Since the election. He's a little vindictive dude, man. Mm-hmm. And he crossed the line when he went after Danielle.
Yeah.
And then after Danielle, he went after Jeremy. After Jeremy, he went after Eric Mays, Councilman Mays. After Councilman Mays, I find out that he didn't try to cover up the Pulaski Street fire. Mm-hmm. And when I found out what they did with that made it extra personal. You know what I'm saying? And for anybody to sit back and try to defend what he did, because I was reading a report last night on our show, and it's two different reports.
Mhm.
It's two different ones.
Mhm.
One say recommend,
Mhm.
and the other one says terminate. The one that I had, it's not signed. But
The one that we got for you, which one was that one?
Terminate.
that's terminated. Yeah,
The one you talking about, I
The-
think, is the one.
the one that I got was from her previous lawyer.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
I got both of them. And when I saw that last night, because me and Tanya was talking, and I just happened to pull it up, and I went to it to just read that part. And if you notice on the live, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute, man.
I remember that.
This right here. Hey, look, you can put documents up, right?
Yeah, I can't. They on your page?
I'm giving an email to you.
I was popping in and out of your show last night. We had it up on the TV screen watching it.
Uh-huh.
It was a good show.
Man,
I was gonna say if it's on your page, I could pull it up with
It
my
was on
email.
for
Been
2 hours, 2.5 hours, but we sat there and watched.
no, it's not on my page.
Damn, yeah, 'cause my email ain't going.
But you know what I can do? I'm gonna screenshot it, and then I'll put it on my page.
I'm going right to your page now.
And then I'm gonna screenshot the other one. I got, my phone be acting crazy. My phone be acting crazy, man. I got another. I think got like six votes, man.
Already today?
No, since Saturday. Some people want to go change their vote, and then there was another person. They said that they don't know who they voting for. They didn't want to vote for neither one.
Uh-huh.
And then after they saw what he had done, they said, I'm voting for Mayor Weaver.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
I had a lady that's 50. How was that lady, Mickey? 59. She said this is her first time ever voting, and she voted for Weaver.
Uh-huh.
She said because she can't believe and ain't nobody fixed them pipe shit. That's getting a lot of people, man. All right, come on. You know about the TTHPT 66 BBCC.
I mean, our water is worse now than it was in 2014. And the sad part.
I told you I'm interviewing you. You're not taking over today. I'm interviewing you, Art.
I know.
Take us back to when you was out there at that some type of reservoir. And I said, "Ooh, look at the pretty little white bubbles."
That was Holloway Reservoir.
Yeah, and what was that?
That was Holloway Reservoir. And
how many years ago was that, Art?
That was 2013.
Right. So that's how long I've been following you. Okay, so the Holly Reservoir is connected to what, Art?
Holloway Reservoir, the dam where it sits out in Davidson, that's where the Flint River starts.
When did you start telling it? 2013, Art?
2013, I started telling people about the PFAS because it was foam, and that's a lot of foam. It
was.
For it to be that much foam. It was. And I mean, it was blowing like when the wind blow while we was fishing. And then, like, I like to fish for catfish and walleye.
Yeah.
So I don't use, what they call them? Where they sit on top of the water. And when the fish hit them.
Oh, them cute little balls.
Yeah, I forgot what they call them, man. I'm having a brain freeze right now.
I don't know.
But I
bait.
No.
Bait
is on the hook.
I know, but I don't know what them do. I just know
barbers.
Oh, yeah,
barbers. They call it barbers.
Yeah.
So if you fishing for panfish, you would use a barber, right? So I fish for catfish and walleye out there. So I use a heavy sinker because the dam will move your line.
Okay.
So when I reel it in, my bait at times I have the slime on it and everything, right? And this foam is all over. I mean, I still got the pictures, and it's all over the water. And then when the wind comes, it's blowing all the way up on land. I'm like, man, what type of foam is this? So I spoke to EPA, and they was like, that's PFAS foam. Come to find out, Richfield landfill is right above the dam. So I'm talking to them, and
And
that's,
here
you know,
first.
Racer Trust, all of them, you know, you got 1,200 parts per trillion of PFAS over there. Plus, you have all different types of toxins. So when they switched over, I'm looking for this Flint River study, July 2011 Flint River study that Roe and Land did. All the council members that got one because it was prepared for Dane Walling. They prepared this using the 2001 treatability study that they had did back in 2001. So I'm looking for it. Dane Walling wouldn't give it to me. I FOIA'd it. They wouldn't give it to me. So just so happened, I forgot the older guy's name. Man, what was his name? He passed away about 2 years ago. And he said, I got it. I said, you do? He said, yeah, it's down in the basement somewhere, but I got it. Councilwoman Poplar had given it to me when we was at a council meeting. She said she wouldn't need it. I said, okay, can you find it for me? So he went and found it. And lo and behold, in there it said that Richfield Landfill will be looking for MPDES. MPDES is a permit to allow stormwater to run into the Flint River. Or run into the Flint River,
Wow.
right?
So that's what you were showing us coming down them rocks or something. It was something else
Right,
coming
that's
down them
outfall
rocks.
one.
Okay.
And that's where the storm water comes out and all that.
So
But
yeah, be paying attention. You know
that's
that.
all the way on the other end,
Yeah.
right? This one was going directly into the Flint River, right? So it said in the July 2011 Flint River study, it said that the uh, if the city of Flint is going onto the Flint River, a study must be done. And then using the 2001 treatability study, they knew that the water was bad. And they knew that they had to use orthophosphates. They didn't. So that's where we are, you know, and it's sad.
He told us at meetings, he told us at the campaign meetings, I don't know if we was at the fake ones, but he told us that his goal was going to be to fix the water.
Yeah.
He didn't fix the water, and Mr. Woodson was at this particular night. This was our last meeting before the election. We
Oh, you
were
talking about Nickelback Nickel?
Yep. We were at what was that, Luigi's on Davidson?
Yes, we were. I used to hate going to his meetings.
Well, I see why. Because I'm about to tell you why. We were sitting at a long table, and Tanya Burns and some more people were
just trying to
over in a
add it
little
up before I
booth
can
because
do
it was so many people at this long table. I remember Joe Pettigrew sitting here at the end. I was here. Art was right next to me. That's why I remember. Clyde was down here at the end of the table, but Sheldon was standing up in the front of Art. And Art told him verbatim, man, I don't care about none of this stuff that you're talking to, but if you don't fix the water, I'm coming after you too. And he got this, oh man, you tripped. You told him.
It's on there, Art.
All right.
Art told him, if you don't fix the water, I'm coming for you too.
And I said, you better have the National Guards ready.
You told him,
Yeah.
not a threat, not no threats.
Right.
We want to make sure we clear that up. No threats was he coming for him. He said, but that meant I'm coming for your accountability.
Right.
I'm going to hold you accountable for what you're saying you're going to do.
That's correct.
Because he stood right up there as clear as day, and I'll never forget this moment. He spread it out his hands, and he said, the first thing I'm going to do when I get back in there is give back that raise that she gave herself. Didn't he say that?
So I did. Yeah. That was right after he got off the helicopter.
Yeah. He said he got this up on the screen. So what's up on the screen?
All right. So what this is where Ray Barton said, I am determined to terminate 2 employees with the city of Flint Fire Department. Everybody keeps saying he recommended. In here, he said, I have determined to fire them. He had fired them. Nearly overrode what he did. We said recommended. It's not recommended. He said, I have determined to terminate their employment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he had terminated them. And that's why Eddie Smith said he called and said that they just, somebody else that overrode that and changed that.
And we all know there's only one person can override the chief of fire, the fire chief. And who is that?
Okay, Mickey. She wanted to talk about water. I'll talk about that another time.
No, we can
The
still.
kids. No, we was talking about the water.
No,
So
no, we can talk about because there's a lot of kids to talk about. I had Miss
Let me-
Shani Davis on this
let
morning.
me say this,
All these
right?
cover-ups.
Let me say this, right? A lot of people want to know, how is it a cover up? It's a cover up because Mayor Sheldon Neely didn't want to go after the white firefighters because if you remember what he say all the time, I'm not worried about the black voters. I need white votes.
Right.
That's where he get all his votes from.
Mhm.
If he would have went after the white firefighters, the white people in the union
Would've got
firefighters,
mad.
they were already mad. You see how the president stepped out and said, all the things about smoke detectors and all that, and we understaffed. So they was gonna go after him, and they already filed grievances. So
That fire department is not happy.
no, they not.
Oh, I done heard from some firefighters since that story that came out.
Oh, it was
Yes.
before the story. Before the
Well,
story.
I haven't talked to him until the story came out. And I know a guy whose son is on the fire department,
Right.
and I know another firefighter. And they said they will be so happy when Weaver wins. So to get that fire department back together
And
again.
you know what? Here's the funny thing, right? I'll get back to the cover up, everybody, but here's the funny thing. The first thing you hear Sheldon Neely talking about is that he named station number 1 after an African American. But what's good naming a building when you don't have anybody inside of it? Now, this is why I say I checked the record, right? Mayor Sheldon Neely has given out more keys, more proclamations, more statues, and named more buildings than Mayor Weaver did.
I mean, he gets out a key every week.
That's the honest God truth. But Mayor Weaver has put more people inside those buildings than what Mayor Neely has done.
Yes.
33 firefighters came in under Mayor Weaver. Policeman was up. Mayor Neely
How many
said
firefighters have?
none. Oh, it's a whole bunch that done left.
That's what I was about to say.
It's a whole bunch that done left
Yep.
compared to when Mayor Weaver was in there. And then, they say, oh, we didn't hire so many police officers. Okay, you didn't hire 10, but 7 left. So you done filled up those 7 spots that was already there. What good is it keep on saying that I done brought this many people in when you still got the same amount? Because you like to micromanage and everybody's leaving because the morale is down because of you.
That's right.
Don't nobody want to be there under him, man.
That's right. You can't get an organizational chart because it's written in pencil.
Crayons.
Oh, crayons.
It's written in crayons,
Crayons is
man.
kind of hard to erase. These people is walking in and out of City Hall every day with new jobs. Whittaker, if he ain't already got a new job, he on his way.
Man, you know what? If Neely wouldn't cover for him so much, he would have been in love like he did in Lansing. He left Lansing because the media and the people kept foiling documents, and he got mad. He got mad. He got mad, man, because yeah. Hey, but what I'm saying, man, is that we gotta look at what it is, man. Mayor Sheldon Neely is the biggest liar I ever met in my life. And y'all gotta understand, man. Me and him got into it when he was on council. And I told him that I don't carry pom-poms and I'm not a cheerleader. This bug turned around. He turned around. And what happened was,
That's our live studio audience.
hey, what's up, studio audience?
Yeah, thank y'all. Can we get some claps?
Hey,
Is
can
y'all
we get
out
some
there?
claps or something?
Claps from the studio audience.
Studio audience.
No, we do, y'all.
Hey, that's the studio audience.
Yeah,
Everybody.
we got a live audience.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We doing
Hey,
a 24-hour run.
Glad y'all could be here, you know what I mean?
They in and out. Lord have mercy.
Glad y'all here. But no, seriously though.
Back to him lying.
We used to, I was taking, in 2013, I was helping a veteran from Camp Lejeune. Camp Lejeune had TTHM from 1953 to 1987. ATSDR, which is Agency for Substance Toxic Disease Registry. They're a branch off of CDC. CDC is Center for Disease Control. They did a study from 1985 to 2014, but we already knew what was going on, right? Multiple myeloma, leukemia, non-Hodgkin's, breast cancer, liver cancer, bladder cancer, throat cancer, stomach cancer, brain cancer. All these are rare blood cancers, right? I had a veteran that I was helping in 2013. May the 2nd, soon as they went to the Flint River, they knew that it was TTHM that quick. I mean, quickly, right? A person that worked at the water plant came to me. I was like, hey, Art, this water is terrible, man. It's got high numbers of TTHMs in it. So knowing that I'm helping this veteran, knowing how dangerous TTHMs is, I started going to city council. Bob, the water guy, you'll see him on my page all the time, Robert Stewart. He was already down there. He was talking about, because Neely had took him, and he was with Neely. And Neely had took him through the water plant. When he heard me speak about TTHM, he started, his antennas went up.
They need us to talk louder. They said they're getting a lot of background noise.
Oh, can y'all hear me now?
Put the mic to you closer.
Oh, all right. There we go. Can y'all hear me? All right. So what happened? Right? So what happened? So what happened? I was down there at City Hall, and I was telling everybody, hey, listen, TTHMs are nothing to play with. Camp Lejeune, 200,000 veterans, just going through it, right? Didn't nobody listen. Bob, the water guy, was telling them, I know how to fix it. They wouldn't listen to him. So we started getting a whole lot of pushback from Dane Walling, the
Dane was mayor at the time.
Yeah, he was the mayor at the time.
Okay.
Donnell Early. I mean, everybody was pushing back. So I'm sitting back, man. I never really did this before. You know what I'm saying? I'm just into helping veterans, advocating for veterans.
That was your thing.
I'm working down in DC, with Congress people. I'm like, man, why all this pushback? If it's dangerous, why are y'all pushing so hard? So I started pushing back at them, meeting their aggression with aggression. So
they don't know, the harder they push us, the harder we fight back.
Right. So I'm like, all right, now, hey, I got PTSD and, I'm up all night anyway. So let me start doing research and let me start talking mess.
Right.
So January 2014, Charleston, West Virginia, the Elk River. It was January 2014. They called the local state of emergency because chemicals from this mine in it started with a K, leaked over into the river like 3 o'clock in the morning. That mayor got up and they had over 300 million gallons of water in the city of Charleston, West Virginia, within hours, right? How is it that we couldn't get water that quick? You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling Dan Walling, I'm like, Mayor Walling, you can call a PA 390 1976, which is a local state of emergency, since the emergency manager won't do it. You can call that, you can take over, because when they did PA 436, the emergency manager law, they didn't put that in that law that if that is called, the emergency manager still override that PA 390, right? So it wasn't in there. So 390, PA 390 1976, when they call it, the mayor takes over and it knocks the emergency manager out.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why they didn't want Mayor Weaver to call it.
Oh,
You see,
okay. I got
because it knocks the emergency manager
Okay.
out.
It gives
So
the power back.
right, it
Right.
gives her the power back, and you see how quick the emergency manager was
Had to
gone.
go. Yep.
So I'm telling him, and then he's supposed to have an EAP also, emergency action plan. I was asking, where's your emergency action plan at?
Do we have one now?
You know what? They said it's confidential.
Oh,
I asked them at our communication meeting that we have on Thursdays. I said, our backup resource, our primary source comes from the same source. All right, Lake
That's
Huron.
dumb.
KWA and Gleewood comes from the same source of water. And Canada is putting nuclear rods, they trying to put nuclear rods across where the intakes are.
So we gonna be glowing?
If anything happened, plus you got line 5,
I'm
right?
gonna need an orange shirt.
You know the big tankers then put down the anchor and
Right.
then pull that line.
Right.
And you know, matter of fact, they just got fined for that, right? So my thing was, if something happens, Lord forbid that something happens up in Lake Huron, where will we get our water from?
That second pipeline.
No,
It's still connected
it's
to Port
connected
Huron.
to
Everything
Lake
is
Huron.
going like this Lake Huron, our first and secondary
Yeah,
source
they
is
So
gonna
there ain't
come
really
from.
no second line.
It's not. It's a redundant. It's called it's
But
a
he was
redundant.
just bragging about
A
getting
back-
that secondary
Oh,
backup
we're
source.
gonna talk about that too.
Okay.
But both of them comes from the same source, so it's not a backup resource.
Right.
In 2003, President Bush amended the Safe Water Drinking Act of 1974, and it said that you're supposed to have a backup resource. And I've been telling EPA and everybody else, hey, this is not a backup resource. So when Katie,
Halftime. All right. Thank you for tuning in. We are doing an 810 News Media Group. I was gonna say 24 hour. We just
Blitz.
doing an all day pre-election day coverage, different interviews, different people, different point of views, but they all pointed back to the same liar. And anyway, it's a number on the screen right now that you'll be able to click on and look at. It's the NAACP's number. It's 810-742-8622 or 1-866-OUR-VOTE. If you have any problems at the polls tomorrow, I have Arthur Woodson on right now as my special guest. Coming up after Arthur Woodson, Sister Audrey Muhammad. After Sister Audrey Muhammad, I have Brother Omar Sims coming on. After Omar Sims coming on, I have Adrian Weaver coming on. So back to Arthur. Let's go.
so make a long story short, right? I asked her name is Katie.
You sweating. You get the sweat when you get
That's that pork.
that pork.
Pork.
I just had 2 pork chops for breakfast, and then from Golden Gate.
Danielle
And,
said you was gonna start eating more salads.
Who said that?
Danielle.
Danielle lied to y'all.
Danielle said, "I gonna start. Watch,
Who?
watch. You gonna be eating that little
Anyway.
colorful salad."
Anyway, you won't be seeing me eat no rabbit food and patties.
He talk big.
See, you gonna
with
make me,
Danielle
you gonna
like
make me have to talk. Hey, man. Hey,
he talk big with
eating a
Danielle.
salad,
Like,
man. As soon as I fart, I'm hungry. Man.
I can't stand you, Art. I can't stand.
Hey, man. I ain't trying to eat no salad. Shoot, man, I like
He
street
said,
food.
"Watch out for the butt."
Hey, man. I'm trying to be full, man. I like to get full and be able to lay down and take a nap. Not where I'm sitting back, man.
Sally can make, I bet she have all them strawberries and pecans and all of that. That'll make you full.
Who want that?
I don't.
Man, give me some pork chops and some pepperoni. And Mickey be sitting up there like, Mickey be like, man, I wish I could have it. Mickey be in the closet eating.
You think so?
Yeah, Mickey.
Yeah,
I can tell he got some pork. He got some pork on his beard. Hey man, quit talking about food.
All right.
I'm sweating right now.
Let's go back to these lines.
Hey,
Look.
5 pork chop sandwich right there. Hey, no. Hey, y'all, listen. Neely is a liar. Let me hurry up and rush.
That's it.
Let me hurry up and rush and get to this, right? I was talking about Dane Walling and all that. In May of 2014, right after we switched over to the Flint River, Mayor Sheldon Neely. Wait, let me back it up a little bit.
Okay.
It was a meeting with Donnell Early, Jeff Wright, O'Brien, people from Mike Prisby, Steve Bush. All of them was up in City Hall. I happened to get wind that they was getting ready to try to sell the 9-mile stretch of pipeline. I rushed down there. I got to listening to him, talking to him. Now, at this time, Mayor Neely wasn't on KWA yet. I went to him and told him, hey, they get ready to try to sell a 9-mile stretch of pipeline. So he must have went.
Flint's.
Yeah, that was ours.
We owned it.
Right, we owned it. And Genesee County was, they wanted it. So I went to him and told him about it. He came into the council meeting. Councilman Davis and Councilman Mays had just got on council along with Councilwoman Monica Galloway.
Okay.
Everybody
was talking about 112 Davis.
Right.
Okay.
Everybody, all of them, 112 Davis, Councilman Davis, 112 Davis, and Councilman Mays, and myself, we were saying, let's lease it to them instead of selling it to them.
Right. Make some money.
This mark came, right. He came from in the back. I'll never forget it. He came from in the back with his 5 votes. He came and sat down and said, I done worked out a deal for $3.9 million. We'll never have to use it again. 9-mile stretch of pipe, right? This is what connected us to Detroit. This pipeline connected us to Detroit, right?
And see, Art, right there is a little important caveat for the people. Sheldon used to take me around with him when he first became council person for the 6th Ward down there. He said, what's out there is just a show. We get all our votes in the back room.
Yeah.
You hear that, people? So you heard Art just say he came out with his votes and sat right down.
Right.
He told me and Art, we've never talked about this. He told me that everything happens in the back room. Council is just a show. Go ahead, Art.
So we sitting there, and I'm sitting there like, man, dude, if you go look at the video, you'll see me. Matter of fact, it's on my page.
Go to Arthur Woodson's page.
You'll see on my page. I got to bring it up because I'll be putting a lot of stuff on it.
Well, he'll put it up after the show.
I got on a vest, right? A sweater vest, and I'm sitting up there, and you'll hear Council. I said, he didn't left. It's some type of way that I said he didn't left. Councilman Neely didn't left. And then you'll hear Councilman Mays in the background say, oh, there he go right there. Because he's coming back. I told him that I don't carry pom-poms and I don't cheerlead. That's when I started saying that. Because he turned around and worked the deal out with Jeff Wright now. And that's when he got on the KWA. He wanted to be on the KWA so bad that he crossed BB up. BB and Bernard Lawler, when they first voted for the KWA in 2013, all of them was supposed to vote together against the KWA. He turned around and voted with them. BB was the only person that voted against the KWA. The vote was 7-1. Neely is a backstabber. He's vindictive. He's a deceiver. He's a liar. He said that we would never need that 9 mile stretch of pipeline. Guess what? We needed it.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even use it because Genesee County owned it. And Jerry Ambrose laughed at us and said, we don't need to go back to Detroit. That was in August of 2015. Nearly, y'all,
How did he fool us?
how you fool us?
How did he fool? You know, a lot of people watch and want to know.
I'm going to tell you the
We
truth.
see, we smart.
I'm going to tell you the truth,
How the
man.
hell did he fool us?
I'm getting ready to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth, man. It's going to hurt me to tell the truth, and I'm getting ready to tell the truth. My anger against Mayor Weaver overshadowed everything that was true. I didn't care what was true. I didn't care what was right at the time. And I'm just being totally honest, everybody.
Right.
When Mayor Neely came to me with different things and, saying different things, and I'm gonna tell y'all with diverting the funds, he came to me with Ellis Stafford, the former investigator for the water crisis, and he was like, "Yo, man, you need to talk to him. He got all the information.
Sure did.
He was working with Todd Flood, and he got the information where they were investigating. You and Tanya do a show.
I know it.
I mean, he ran it down. I'm thinking that by him being an investigator, state trooper, former state trooper, investigating the water, and saying that, while we was investigating the water, we found, man, we were doing something wrong. I'm thinking that, hey, that's true because it's coming from Neely, it's coming from Rich Beard, and it's coming from Ellis Stafford.
Right.
So I ran with it.
Yep.
I ran with it. I didn't say anything back in the day because I was too embarrassed. I'm not gonna even lie to y'all, man. I was embarrassed, and the one thing that we hate the most, what is it?
Admitting that we was wrong.
No, it's worse than that. Somebody being able to tell you, I told you so.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That hurts the most, but I ain't got to the point to where I don't care if you tell me that I told you so because you did try to tell me. You wouldn't be lying if you told me that I tried to tell you so, which a lot of people did try to tell me.
Daddy tried to tell me.
Man, there was so many people. I was used, everybody. I'm telling you. I'm gonna tell you.
There go two right there. We're gonna get them. They can bring some more people on board. And he just used us.
I'm gonna tell y'all something else where they used me. And I swear, man, I didn't think they was using me, man. I swear to God, I didn't think they was using me. The recall.
Yeah.
I was being used in that and didn't even know it.
Yeah.
I was so mad when I found out. I didn't want to run for no mayor.
I know.
Man, listen, I did not want to run.
You was on the phone with me that day while you was sitting out there at City Hall.
Right.
You was talking to me on the phone and you was like, I don't want to do this, but I ain't about to just let
Scott Kincaid
do it.
And I said, I'm gonna get in so that I can, protect Mayor Weaver from Scott Kincaid because I did not want.
That's what he said, John. I was on the phone. I was sitting out there in front of City Hall, almost until the deadline.
I said at 4:30. I said they got up until 4:30 to sign up to run for mayor. And I said, man, I'm gonna sit out here, man, and didn't nobody come in. So I just went in and signed up. And my whole plan was if we got into a debate, I was gonna go after Scott Kincaid. Mm-hmm. That was my plan. Mm-hmm. And be a buffer for Mayor Weaver because
you told me dog.
Scott
you gotta tell the people yet. Tell the people yet.
Because I'm sitting up here like, y'all played me.
Yep.
I did not know that y'all was behind this recall.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
They thought they had
Hey,
it in the bag.
people can sit back and say, I wouldn't have got played like that or this and that and that and this.
Yes, you would have.
Man, listen,
Yes, you would have.
I'm up in people's face all the time.
Mhm.
I'm out here fighting every day.
Mhm.
And these people are ruthless, man.
Man,
I'm telling you.
real.
Hey.
They tried to kill us with
Hey,
for
man.
real tried to kill
Hey.
us, man.
They ruthless, man.
You know, I
I'm telling you.
believe just look at the news
Yeah.
with Channel 12. And Neely worked for that, right?
Right.
Did Channel 12 disclose that?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
That's the point I'm
They
saying.
never
Then
told
let-
he
and then-
negotiated their last contract that's still in place.
And that's what I'm saying. Then let the firefighter come out and talk.
Right. Anonymous.
That tells you everything you need to know about. Was I'm just saying, look at
Only
all.
to TV 12. Send him right to TV 12.
He went right to where he worked at.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
listen,
To discredit the chief of police. Now, what employee do you know if I work for an institution, I bypass my boss, I bypass the union, I bypass the board, I bypass everybody and go to the news station. We got, even at my place of employment right now, we got to send everybody to marketing if the press comes. We can't talk to them. This firefighter went right to the press with no problem. He even said he was one of the firefighters. Well, yeah,
did you see Neely made a statement too?
Yeah. Where he said that the city don't normally comment on pending litigation.
Ain't that
Let me
something?
tell y'all something, man. They commented because they lied and covered it up.
Mhm.
And for his minions and these racist white people that's out here speaking, go look up Grosse Point. Grosse Point is all white, and the parents, the kids that was there, they were left home alone because they had a late start for school, and the parents went to work, right? With them, I feel so sorry for the parents. They lost their two sons. This and that and that and this. Oh, give us hugs and all this other stuff, right?
Mhm.
With Mayor Neely and his minions and the other white people. Where was the smoke detectors? Why were they left
Daddy
alone?
must have been a crackhead.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Uh-huh.
the difference, man. And that's why I don't care about what I say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why this would have never been political if Mayor Neely would have came out and charged them or done an investigation or whatever the case may be back in June of 2022. And this is what I was getting at earlier, how it's a cover up. Let me start by saying it was political suicide. That's what he said, not what Art Woodson said.
Mhm.
Right.
This is what Mayor Sheldon Neely said. It was political suicide if he would go after those white firefighters because the sergeant was a union, vice president of the union. And the union brothers, where we was talking about the fighting and the racial tension, right?
Yeah.
It was going on inside the fire station at that time
It's still going
because the
on.
black firefighters wanted the truth to come out.
Tell it,
The
Art.
white
Tell it.
firefighters in the
Tell it,
union
Art. Yes.
said, "Are you going to stand with your brothers?" The black
Tell
firefighters
it.
said,
Tell the truth.
"Hell no! These kids died.
Ooh, I wish
And
I
they
had me a
lied.
church fan.
They lied on the report, trying to cover themselves." Lieutenant Presswood or Prescott, he went to Chief Barton and said, "Hey, they didn't go into those rooms."
Yes, yes. Tell it. Tell it,
So
Art. Tell them the
again,
truth.
it was. Matter of fact, Dennis Pfeiffer
At
asked,
City Hall, voted
Chief-
with my daughter.
Hey.
Thanks, Melissa.
"Hey, Chief Barton was asked by Dennis Pfeiffer at city council meeting, and you can go back and listen to it. He asked him, how is the morale at the fire department?" He said,
What did he say, Art?
he said, "I'm gonna tell you like this, it's not good."
It's not good.
And if he would have followed up and said why, Chief Barton probably would have told him.
He didn't want to
It's
follow
the
up.
black firefighters and the white firefighters
Yes, it
against
is.
one another.
Yes, it is.
Mayor Neely was afraid of this because the white firefighters was going to get after him and get on his head if he went after those white firefighters.
But he
That's why he
sacrificed
said-
his own people.
That's why he said it was political suicide, because all his votes come from the white community. I got a phone call. Hey, Art, there's some stuff going on Pulaski Street, fire. I ain't know nothing about the fire.
Right.
I kid y'all not. I did not know, my right hand to God, I didn't know anything about a Pulaski Street fire. I was like, what is that?
I know you did, because you would have said something about it.
I was like,
Right.
what is that? Pulaski Street fire. So I started looking into it.
Mhm.
And I was like, whoa.
Damn.
You know,
Right.
I started talking to different people, man, and finding out different things. So I inboxed Crystal,
Mhm.
and I was sitting up there, man. I was like, man, waiting for her to call me. I'm sitting up there like, man, what am I gonna say to her?
Right.
How can I break this news to her? And her sons just passed last week.
Right.
When she answered the phone, right? I mean, when she called me, I'm sitting up here, I'm like, dang, you know, I'm thinking real fast, and I'm like, dang, man, what can I say? What can I say? I'm sorry about your son. I said, man, you know, I can't even imagine what you're going through right now. I said, all I can think about is my kids, my granddaughter, and how I love my kids so much. And I can't even imagine the hurt and the pain that you're feeling and you're going through. I said, but I got something to tell you, and I don't know how to say it. She said, just spit it out.
You can't
know,
hurt
this-
her no
this-
more.
this was her.
This is it. Yeah.
She was like, just spit it out. Tell me.
Yeah.
I said, you need to tell your lawyer to go and force them to tell you what is going on. I said, I got a phone call, and they told me that they are trying to cover it up. They done with reports, and they know what's going on. Chief Barton has suspended the firefighters without pay. Mayor Neely came back because he was on vacation. He came back and told them to suspend them with pay until upon investigation, right? So I told her that. I ain't speak to her no more after that, right? Around October the 1st of this year, October the 1st, her name popped up on my phone. And I was like, hey, how you doing, Miss Cooper? She was crying. And she was like, will you help me? I said, what's going on? She said, I want justice for my son, and they won't help me. I said, who won't help me? She said, my lawyer. I've been trying to get justice for my son.
This is when she had that local lawyer.
Right, her previous lawyer. She said, I've been trying to get justice for my sons, and I can't get no meeting. I can't get nothing done. I said, you know what? I help you. At first, I was kind of hesitant, you know, because you
don't have to explain.
I don't do
that's
public
what-
safety.
You be forgetting who you be talking to.
Yeah, I don't do
Because when Miss Davis reached out to me, and I sent her to you, and I called you before that, and you was like, I don't know if I can do this. He was like, that's not really my lane.
Right.
You know, and we was trying to figure out what to do to get her exposure, and it's like you took on.
You talking about the lady that was here? Oh, that's who that was?
Yeah.
You took on.
Oh, you called me about that?
Yeah, that was her. That's what I called you about.
I didn't know.
Davis, I was telling you about.
I didn't know
And
that.
he was like, I don't know if I can take that on. Yeah.
See, at city council, I was gonna speak to her, but when she said that she had a lawyer, I was like, oh nope, can't speak to her.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't know that, you know,
You don't really tune into
a
all of that stuff.
lot of people don't know that if I talk to her and I say, hey, you know what, let's do this, and I help her to switch over to another lawyer or whatever the case may be, that lawyer can sue me for messing up his contract with her. Yeah, I can get you can get sued for that. So I just found that out because her previous lawyer was trying to sue.
Damn. Well, I ain't have Miss Davis already went and got another lawyer.
Interfering with contractual agreements.
Okay.
That's what it's called, man.
Is this lawyer, this local lawyer, happen to be a Neely supporter?
Yes, he is.
Oh.
And so when she said that, right, I started helping her. And a lot of other stuff is going to come out. I promised people that I wouldn't say anything about things that happen. So I'm it's hurting me. It's hurting me like
Damn, to
crazy.
keep all of that in.
Yeah. Knowing all I'm gonna say to everybody, man, the people that has the same color skin as you, they not looking out for your best interest.
No.
The lawyers, not all of them.
Right.
The pastors, not all of them. The elected officials, not all of them. But it's a bunch of them. People in these different high positions as business owners. When I start naming names, when they give me the okay to break out these files,
no. My RL voice.
I'm letting you know.
Oh no.
If you are in business, if you are a lawyer,
Lord Jesus.
if you are a pastor,
Help us, Lord.
if you are an elected official, God is my witness. I got files on you and I am coming out with them. People probably saying, why you ain't doing it before the election? That's why I'm telling you, this isn't political.
Right.
After tomorrow, I'm doing it after the election so that you can't say that it's political. I want everybody to know how grimy the black people are here in the city of Flint. Everybody keeps saying, we must work together. We must unite. We must do this.
Flint.
One Flint. Man, kiss my ass.
And that's what we said.
Hey.
Because the same thing that happened with her was the same thing that happened with Shawnee Davis. She said she went to the Dollar General that's where her son got killed at on Pearson Road.
Right.
The next morning, they weren't even open that long. As soon as she went in, they said, oh, the police already been here. Got the tapes. She said, well, look at the dash cam. She said she was telling Police Chief Green and them and Sergeant Poole, I think she said they called her down there. Well, let me see have y'all looked at the dash cams, the little cameras on them. They said, well,
I wonder who her lawyer is.
They said, I don't know, she didn't tell me. And I didn't ask.
I want to know.
But she said,
I'm going to be nosy.
She said none of them.
Because I hope she don't have the one that Miss Cooper had.
Oh. I don't know.
I want to know who it is.
I don't know. Because she told, let me tell you what they told her. None of the videos was working. Hey, we know Vibes got a direct feed to downtown. Nothing was working.
They said Vibes video wasn't working.
She didn't say what Vibes. She didn't even know about the Vibes video in the direct feed. But the dash cameras on all them cars that was out there at that crash, none of it was working. None of the body cams, none of them was working. The dollar store feed, gone. The camera on Pearson Road, nothing. Hey. They told her she couldn't even get the autopsy back from her son until January.
What's that?
What? Okay. All right. Yes. Our last words, why we should vote for Wyntis.
Hey, man, listen.
He was robbed in his time. I know he's about to go.
Hey, man, I'm getting ready to go off, man. Up in here. Why? Because I'm tired of y'all treating me like a redhead stepchild.
I gave you your full hour, though.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, you did. They was only on an hour and you on an hour.
Well, you was talking a little bit too much there.
Yeah, that's what it was. No, you got your hour.
Right here. Hey, go get you some salad now.
Who?
You.
We're ready to go eat a meat lover's pizza. Ooh. Hey, y'all, listen. This is God honest truth, man. I know I was all over the place. I wasn't prepared in mindset because Wyntis called me at 1:59 asking me to go on at 2:00, right?
I did. He did it, though.
Listen, this is God honest truth, and I'm saying it with all my heart. It's not out of anger. It's not out of hate. It's not out of malice. It's not out of ill intent. Right. It's not nothing like that. if you look at Mayor Weaver's record compared to Sheldon Millie's, you will see that she did a whole lot more than what Mayor Sheldon Millie did. Crime was down. His is up, and he manipulates the numbers by not answering 911. Not one time did you ever see that we don't have ambulance service in the city of Flint or either in the county.
Happened again this week.
It happened again this weekend. Not one time have you seen anything regarding our service lines. She was on track. Matter of fact, she was a year ahead of schedule because they made sure she did everything she was supposed to do. But Mayor Neely was a sellout. He's still a sellout. So EPA and Eagle knew that he's a sellout. Governor Whitmer, y'all saw my poster on Facebook. She carried him around in a little pouch.
The gremlin.
Like a little baby, like little man. She carrying him around like a little baby because all he does is talk about how she endorsing him. Listen, y'all listen.
But Weaver.
Listen.
But Weaver.
Vote for Mayor Weaver. Go pick up somebody. Go take them downtown. If they threw away their absentee ballot, whatever. If they messed up on their absentee ballot, they forgot to vote, or they forgot who to vote for as mayor. Mayor Karen Weaver. Take them downtown before 4 o'clock and tell them that you want to spoil your ballot and that you want to vote, revote, they'll give you a new ballot, whatever. Vote for Mayor Weaver. I'm getting ready to get off their podcast because they're getting ready to cut me off, y'all.
No,
but it's been real.
All right, thank you. We got a long day today. We got a longer day tomorrow. We'll be out there.
You ready to eat your pizza? I see your pizza
All
right
right, I got back-to-back shows. After art, I got Sister Audrey Muhammad. After Sister Audrey Muhammad, I got Omar Sims. After Omar Sims, I got Adrian Weaver.
Oh,
all right, we doing
Omar
this.
Sims. Omar Sims gonna talk about his fake degree too.
Yeah, the fake degree that slashed Omar's career in half.
Yeah, man.
Man, I want to talk about that.
I was suing, man, for lying, saying he got a degree and costing me.
My political career, my political career just gone because you lied and said
What
you got a
liar.
degree.
And then you remember he always used to say, black people only got an attention span of 3 minutes.
They like to look at pictures.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he told me they like to look at pictures.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, y'all, I swear to God, man, Neely thought he was smarter than the average bear.
And now he's fighting hard.
Fighting hard.
He's fighting hard.
Don't vote for Neely, y'all.
Don't vote for
Don't vote
the
for
liar.
in chief. Hey, wait. Hold on, y'all. I'm off of here. I'm off of here.
What you about to do?
Uh,
What you about to do?
I'm getting ready to do this. Check this out. Not understand why.
Telling them lies.
You be telling them lies. Then you lied about it. Then you lied about it.
You would lie in his face. CEO. La la la.
La la la. La 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 la.
Thank you, Art. It was good being on here with you, my dog.
Hey.
All right, we be back 5 minutes.